On episode 3, we will learn about anchoring. You ever walk into a room and feel a ripple of insecurity? A fleeting thought. They'll judge me. I'm not enough. And suddenly your posture slumps. Your voice wavers. Your confidence hides behind excuses. What if I told you there's a tool, an understanding of your mind, that lets you flip a switch in those moments, waking up confidence, calm, clarity, like flicking on a light? That's the power of anchoring from NLP. And today, you're going to feel for the first time that you are not trapped in your anxiety, doubt, or fear. You are the author of your emotional state, the hidden wiring behind emotion. Let's begin with what happens in your brain when that wave of self-doubt hits. You don't see it coming, but your brain reacts fast. Sensory inputs, sights, sounds, smells, touch, all filtered through your past experiences. Many of these past moments carry heavy emotion, failure, embarrassment, fear. These become lightning rods for automatic responses. Neuroscience tells us about memory reconsolidation. When you recall an emotional memory, that memory becomes malleable. It's like opening a file on your mind. Then whatever you do while that memory is active has the power either to reinforce the old pattern or to change it. In anchoring, you use that exact moment consciously. Recall a strong, positive state. Link it to a physical trigger, and later, that trigger becomes the key to reopen the positive state. Also, consider the amygdala, the emotional core. It responds to threat first. Under threat, your higher brain, prefrontal cortex, can go quiet. But through deliberate practice of anchoring, you form fast neural shortcuts that route emotional states directly. Over time, when the trigger fires, your brain doesn't default to threat. It swings you into confidence instead. This is not wishful thinking. It's how brains rewire. Origins in NLP and early evidence Neuro-Linguistic Programming, pioneered by Richard Bandler and John Grinder in the 1970s, grew out of noticing what great therapists, speakers, and performers already did naturally. They would shift their state unconsciously, often via some action, gesture, or pattern. NLP formalized anchoring, the idea that by pairing a trigger, something you do physically or mentally, with an emotional state when it's intense, you can later reuse that trigger to re-access the state. There are case studies. Clients with performance anxiety who anchored calm before speaking. Athletes who anchored peak focus before competition. Some studies in applied psychology mirror this. Visual imagery practice, for example, has been shown to improve performance nearly as much as physical practice, because the brain activates similar neural circuits. When combined with anchoring, these gains amplify. Performance improves faster, anxiety decreases, confidence becomes accessible. What makes an anchor strong? Not all anchors are equal. A weak anchor is something you forget to use. A strong anchor becomes automatic. Here's what determines strength. 1. Intensity of the state. The more vivid, emotional, sensory-rich the state, when you install the anchor, the more potent the link. If your memory of confidence is flat, vague, or low energy, the anchor becomes weak. 2. Uniqueness of the trigger. If your trigger is common, touching wrist, saying yes, looking up, you'll accidentally trigger it all the time or dilute its power. Better if it's something distinct, a specific finger press, a soft word, a gesture not used often. 3. Repetition. Repeating anchoring over different strong memories makes the anchor more robust. Stacking anchor means layering multiple confident moments onto the same trigger. 4. Delay and break state. After installing the anchor, you need to break state, doing something neutral, pausing,
shifting attention, so the brain distinguishes anchor arrow state rather than fragments of past state bleeding in constantly. Some story. From stage fright to spotlight. Let's imagine Sarah. She's an accountant by day, but she's always wanted to speak at conferences. The closer a speaking opportunity gets, the more her knees tremble. Her mind floods with, what if I freeze? What if someone laughs? She almost declines, but she decides to practice anchoring. Sarah selects a trigger, pressing her right thumb against the joint of her index finger. She recalls 3 memory scenes. When she got praise in front of her colleagues, the time she delivered a small success on a team presentation, the time she felt proud standing up for someone. Each time she builds the confidence memory vivid, sights, sounds, feelings. At the peak, she presses thumb finger trigger, repeats, breaks state, and so on.
Weeks later, she enters the stage. Heart rate rises as usual, but she presses that thumb finger anchor. Instant shift. Posture improves, voice steady, fear recedes. After speaking, she notices people nodding, applauding, but more importantly, she felt herself there, not frozen, fragile. She rewrote the neural loop. Practical guided exercise you can do now. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. Let your body soften. Think of a moment when you felt fully confident. Maybe when someone praised you, or when you succeeded beyond your expectation. See the scene like a film. What you see, what you hear, how the air feels, smells, textures around you. Feel the energy in your chest, shoulders relaxed, spine straight. Now choose your trigger. Touch your thumb and index finger together. Press gently, but with intent. When the memory banks high, press. Hold the trigger while you ride the confidence, then release. Break state. Open your eyes, stretch. Think of something neutral like your morning routine. Repeat with another memory. Each repetition builds strength. Then test. In a minute when no memory is present, press your trigger. Notice if your body shifts, your mind brightens. That shift is anchoring working. Advanced patterns into integration. Stacking. After doing several confident memories, use the same trigger, building a deeper anchor. Chaining. Suppose you feel nervous, then use anchor instantly while nervous, shifting you to calm, then from calm to confident. Collapsing negative anchors. If a negative state is deeply rooted, fear, shame, you can pair it with a strong positive anchor in a collapse sequence. Trigger negative arrow, immediately trigger positive arrow. Do that multiple times until negative loses power. Also, consider environmental and ritual anchors, particular music, a scent, posture, standing in a certain way, dress, even lighting. Those can support anchoring when aligned. Everyday uses, confidence on demand. Anchoring isn't only for speaking or performance. Use it for interview anxiety, difficult conversations, presenting ideas at work, meeting new people, starting tasks you usually avoid. Even in small moments, sitting at your desk, feeling stuck, fire your anchor. Let the shift begin. Closing thoughts. Anchoring is more than a trick. It's a way to live intentionally. Confidence, calm, focus. These are not rare traits. They're skills you build with awareness. When you anchor well, you are no longer bound by your past states of fear or procrastination. You become flexible, conscious, powerful. In the next episode, we'll dive into reframing, turning obstacles into opportunity, flipping your internal narrative entirely. Because if you can anchor courage, you can reshape your story. You are not at the mercy of your fear. You are not doomed by your doubt. You are the architect of your inner state. And today, you've learned the map. Use it well.